Hey guys, up here in my living room by myself, kind of working on my Sukura D3. It's Nicole. Welcome Nicole to her first video on the channel. Anyway, had seen a couple of these Not My Arms videos and decided to involve the redhead behind me. So, got the Sukura D3 in front of me here. I've only driven it a few times, but I've had a lot of fun doing it so far. Nothing's broke or anything like that, but there was a few little things here and there that I decided I would like to start to upgrade as I went, just because I do like to upgrade and have something that's a little bit different than stock. So the one thing that I liked the least about the Sukura was the pink anodizing, and all of the Sukura upgrade parts also have that pink, and not a big fan, no matter what my nails look like. So while I was ordering some parts for the Mega Truck project, I decided to take a look and see if there was any upgrade parts for the Sukura there. And I ran into a company called Boom Racing. And the thing I liked about Boom Racing is they had pretty much all of the Sukura parts, but the nice thing was that they had them in colors besides pink. So while I was ordering, I decided to throw on some front end upgrade parts. Now the reason I did that was because the front end does have a little bit of slop in this thing. I'm just going to kind of grab the front end here and give it a little wiggle, and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I think that's just kind of a combination of all the parts up there just not having fantastic tolerances and all that type of deal. So I decided that my first upgrade on this thing was going to be the front end. So while I was there, I ordered 3 different parts. The first part I ordered was the steering rack. The steering rack's an all aluminum piece, bearing supported, which looks like that should work well. Haven't opened it up yet. I have no idea how the tolerance is or the quality is going to be. So we'll see what that looks like as soon as we open it. Next is going to be the carriers. Pretty decent looking all in the package, but again, haven't opened any of these. So the anodizing is a nice, consistent gunmetal color, and I like that over that paint. And then lastly, I got a set of their steering knuckles. So that's what we're looking at right now. And first thing we're gonna do is get into this car and tear it down and start to try and upgrade. So the first thing we're gonna do is remove the wheels. We're gonna use our 4-way wrench for that. We're gonna use the large end because that's the typical end you would use to remove a wheel. So we almost have the wheel nut off. Pink wheel nuts as well. So the tire comes off. We're just going to set that aside for now. Then we're going to remove the other wheel as well. We're going to remove the other front wheel. The back wheels we're just going to leave on for this. No reason to take those off at all. All right, so with the front wheels removed, we can move on to popping off the ball cups. What we're going to do for that, kind of just pop it off there, like that, and that's it's usually an easier process than it looks like. All right, so now that we've got that side done, we're going to remove the ball cups on the other side. We're going to start with the top one, and we're going to lightly pry that ball cup off that ball stud. We're going to rip the ball stud out of the plastic knuckle, which is exactly why we're upgrading to aluminum right now. Now that we've got the links removed, we're going to remove the knuckles first. Yep, we're going to keep all of our screws together so we don't lose them. I often hold the wrenches uncomfortably close to my face while I'm working on the RC cars. The next thing we're going to do is remove the carrier. Set that aside. That's the hinge pin that holds the carrier on. Now our carrier can come out, and we're all done with that. Now we're going to do the other side the same way. Okay, and we're done with that. All right, the next step is going to be removing the rack. The rack is this swingy thing in the front here. It's so much more convenient to work in your living room rather than in close proximity to all of your nice tools. it can be difficult to remove it in one piece, but it's not that difficult if you use a little bit of patience. So the steering rack is removed. So we're going to go in reverse order with the way we just disassembled the car and reassemble the car with the new upgrades from Boom Racing. So that means we're going to start with the rack first. Now we're going to open the package first, kind of the first step to installing a part, removing it from the package. Okay. So we've got the rack pieces here in front of us. The first thing we need to do is take these little brass hats and we need to install them into the little piece that looks like it goes between two other pieces. So the next thing to do is install the new bearings into the steering rack. Now that the bearings and sleeves are installed, we need to reinstall the stock ball studs that came out of the stock rack. These little silver pieces with the ball on top of the ball stud, and we're going to use the wrench in the end of it to install them into this rack. Now the basics of the rack are all assembled and we just need to install it back in the car. So the steering rack is installed. Ended up having to take it back out and do quite a bit of grinding on it. The tolerances were pretty nasty and the rack actually would lock up. I had to do quite a bit of grinding on that tie rod to get it so that it was able to rotate freely. But not something I'm very impressed with as far as the part quality going on so far. So we'll do a little bit of an after install review once we get through this entire install. So the next thing we're going to do is install the carriers. Dump it out carefully on the table. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is install the hinge pin. We're going to put that set screw on the wrench. You know what? We're going to go right to the knuckle on this side so that we can just speed this install up, and then we'll just do the other side off camera. So we're going to open up our other package of parts. Yep. All right, the very last thing to do is to finish up installing the steering. So we're going to grab our 2mm wrench and install a ball cup onto the end of the steering knuckle, or sorry, a ball end, which is the little screw thing that has a ball on the end of it. And we're going to put that on the knuckle. There's 3 holes on the knuckle. We're going to use the one that is furthest to the inside for now. All right, and the last thing to do is to snap on the ball end that goes from the rack to the steering knuckle. And we're going to put it close to on top, and then we're going to grab a pair of needle nose pliers and snap it onto there. We're going to use a pair of pliers and snap it on. That's all there is to it. Simple install, right? So we'll get this thing all buttoned up and we'll see how it feels now that all the upgrades are installed. All right, so we're all done with this. Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was something to do. So something to keep her from complaining that I'm downstairs too much. But
I don't think I'll be doing that much anymore.
The parts are all installed. In general, I would rate them as a low quality part. Not very happy with it. Finish is okay. The tolerances are terrible. I've got as much or more slop in these things than when I started. One side of the steering rack has considerably more slop than the other. The bearing pocket on the top here, I can see the gap change around the bearing as I move the steering back and forth. So in general, very low quality part. I'll probably try and, I don't know, add some sort of shim or something like that to these to try and tighten things up, maybe something to kind of cap it down. But in general, low cost parts, they were cheap, and that is reflected in the quality of the part. So so that's as informative as this video is going to get. still having fun with this thing. Going to take it out this weekend when I send her out of town. And also the 3D printer should be here on Thursday. So she won't see me for quite a while, and you guys will probably see a lot more of me.
Well, let's hope not. Valentine's Day is on Friday. Don't forget to put your toys away, boys.
So yeah, about that. I'll be printing her Valentine's Day present on Thursday night.
I don't want one.
And that's all. So we'll see you guys next time. And
Can you print rings on 3D printer? As long as it's